After watching a couple of videos on using technology in math, and for this assignment, it was any piece of technology that could help you in the classroom. Someone had talked about virtual manipulatives, and I'm always a big fan of using manipulatives in the classroom. As you can see in this picture here, the person is using plastic beans as counters so students can have a visual of what 4 plus 6 actually looks like. And there are a whole sets of manipulatives that you can use for geometry, for fractions, and many students are kinesthetic learners. I'm sorry, not kinesthetic. Kinesthetic is whole body learning. There are tactual learners where they actually have to touch things to get an idea of and feel them to see how things actually work. And it's also a good way to give kids number sense rather than just going from the concept to the symbolic. You have a little transition phase in there where students can go from the concept to the manipulation to the symbolic. So there's a transition stage there rather than jumping right into numbers. Getting kids to work with manipulatives is pretty powerful. Now, what are the drawbacks for using manipulatives? Well, I know I have a set of manipulatives that I used in my live classes. Naturally, it's tough to use those in this class, but for one thing, they're expensive. So to get a whole classroom set could be very prohibitive. But the thing is that you can come up with other things to use as manipulatives. That there's play money. There are. I would not recommend using candy. I know in this video, this person recommends using candy. That's great, but I would not be a teacher who would want to bring sugar into my classroom. And not so much because sugar promotes hyperactivity, but sugar promotes inflammation in the body. So that's just a little nutritional comment here. But the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to talk about virtual manipulatives that you can use in your classroom, especially if you have a whiteboard. And that is the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives, which you can see here. I have the link. I will put the link in the when I post this video. But if you look at this, you can see, wow, numbers and operations, algebra, geometry, measurement, data analysis, and probability, all Common Core categories. And you can see it's broken down into pre-K through 2, 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12. So this website is for everybody. And you can do it on a whiteboard. Kids can do it on a tablet, an iPad, or even on an iPhone. Although I'm not sure if it can be done on an iPhone because it requires Java, and I don't think you can even do this on Google Chrome because Google Chrome does not support Java, which I don't understand, but because Java is used in a lot of programs. But I'm using Internet Explorer right now, and Internet Explorer supports Java. Also, Firefox is a browser that supports Java. So I'm just going to go in here to numbers and operations because that's where we start in this class. And you can see the possibilities here, bar charts, base. I call these base 10 blocks. And I like base 10 blocks because that is the basis for everything we do. And I'll show you this. You'll see where it wants me to run Java. But one of the things that it gives you is options up here, parent teacher. And here it says teacher information, base blocks, and it gives you some ideas of how to use it. If you go down here on the bottom, it says show a problem. It doesn't always not all of these give you problems. Sometimes they give you something to do over here on the right side, but here's a problem. I wanted to do a bigger problem so I could use hundreds. So what it's asking you to do is use base 10 blocks to show 431. So I'm going to drag down 100, 100, 100, and another 100. So I have 400. So it's really a nice way to show place value. Here I am this is my analytic side. I have to line them all up. Now I need 30, so I got to drag down some 10s. And you can see it's adding them up for me. Okay, here I go. I'm going to line them up. And now I need 1 from the 1s. Okay, so there is the problem. So it really gives students a sense of place value in base 10, which is what our number system is. There's also many other options and many other types of manipulatives you can use. I like pattern blocks. Patterns are a part of the standards, especially at younger ages. And I don't see them here. You can see it. This is grades 3 through 5. I know I was just playing with them, pattern blocks. But I like, one of the things I like is tangrams. I use this in my live classes, and they give you a picture, and you can see here's a picture here, and you have to arrange these, and you can turn them so they fit, and drag them to different places. So this is a great way to get kids to manipulate shapes. I remember doing this in class, but I don't remember how it works right now. But all these shapes are using the exact same number of tangrams. So if you've never used tangrams, this would be a great place to start. Again, this has activities. Click on the shapes here. It tells you what the activities are, and here are the shapes down here. It has a parent-teacher, and it gives you information about tangrams and how to use and why you use them. So this is an awesome site. You can see how many different kinds of activities there are, and the possibilities. And it avoids the messiness of using manipulatives. And based on the special needs of your kids, you might get some kids who put them in their mouth, some kids that throw them, some kids that lose them. So this is a very safe way of using virtual manipulatives. So check it out, and I encourage you all to experiment with it in your classrooms.